everyone. Welcome to the Lawyer Lifter podcast, or Mel's Minutes, where I talk about lifting, life, and business. All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Lawyer Lifter podcast. And this time, I am bringing in my night nanny postpartum doula, Sandra. And, I am so excited because while here in the United States, it's relatively new, actually elsewhere in other countries, postpartum doulas, night nannies, they've been around. So let's start off this episode talking about, definitions. So Sandra, why don't you tell us, number one, what the heck is a postpartum doula and what is a night nanny, or sometimes called night nurses?
Hi, thank you. Yes, Mel. Well, I am coming in as a postpartum doula, and I will be supporting you after your birth doula kind of transitions you to me. So, what I do as a postpartum doula is provide evidence based information on things such as infant feeding, emotional and physical recovery, and mother baby bonding, infant soothing, and basic newborn care. Basically, we take care of you, we mother the mother, so you can take care of your baby.
Yeah, and I think that's very important for people who are listening to understand. There's so much on social media, taking care of baby, but when you have a postpartum doula, when you have a birth doula, the key is taking care of mom. You take care of mom, mom is better equipped to take care of baby. Isn't that right?
That is correct. We really focus on, like I said, mothering the mother. So we nurture the entire family as they transition into a life with a newborn. And so by this, babies are cute, yes, but our main goal is the mom. There's so much that goes when you're getting ready to be a parent, you prep for the baby's arrival. So much happens. You do a baby shower, all for the baby. You get gifts, all for the baby. You just this whole entire time you're prepping for the baby. But there is very little talk on the postpartum period for the mother. Everyone is just all around the baby. Everyone wants to meet the baby. Everyone can't wait for the baby's arrival. But then what happens when you go home and you have this new little human with you? What happens to the new mom? So that is our job mainly as postpartum doulas, to be there for the person who just gave birth. We're there to help you bond with baby. We're there so you can rest. You need that rest. I cannot emphasize it enough, because having a baby is a life-changing event. Your life will not be the same after you have this little human.
Yeah, can you talk more about the physical, the mental, and emotional side of taking care of a mom after a baby comes? Because I think that really needs to be discussed, because even still, those three aspects just kind of are like, oh yeah, moms recover, no worries.
Yeah, well, it does take a while for a mom to recover. You're going to be breastfeeding. You're going to need support with breastfeeding. That's what we do. You are going to need help, emotional and physical recovery after birth. That's where we help. You're going to need assistance with your newborn, such as, diapering, bathing, feeding, and comforting, because this is all going to be new to you. Babies have different cries, and as you get more familiar with their cries, then you're going to start getting more comfortable in your new mother role, as well as your partner. We help you with baby soothing techniques. Most postpartum doulas provide services for the entire family, really. So the entire family needs to adjust to their new role. It's not just the mother. Everyone in the household is going to be providing for this little human, your little baby. So it does take a teamwork. We all need to be on the same page.
So, how many years and what are your certifications related to being a postpartum doula?
I'm a postpartum doula and I've done this for 15 years. I'm also a newborn care specialist, which is a little different than a postpartum doula. As a newborn care specialist, we're trained just in newborn care. We provide unique expertise in just all aspects of the newborn, from parental education and support, but as well as we provide a good schedule for baby. We help families make a smooth transition during the newborn stage. We maintain infant feeding logs, and we really watch out for sleep patterns. We also assist with mothers with feeding issues. We soothe babies, using skilled and proven techniques that calm newborns. We do diapering, changing, bathing, circumcision care, preparing new bottles, basic nursing support. So, as you can see, the postpartum this is a little different from a newborn care specialist. If I were to go in there with you just being a newborn care specialist, I wouldn't mother you as much. My main goal would be to take care of the baby.
Yeah.
So a lot of us kind of go in with two hats. We'll do a little bit of the postpartum care, but we will also do part of the newborn care specialist role.
Now, is that when we talk about the newborn care specialist role, that's where the night nanny comes in, right?
Yeah, the night nanny doesn't have as extensive training as a newborn care specialist. That night nanny is basically there to keep your baby alive so you can get some rest. They don't have the training that we do as newborn care specialists in regards to just everything that's newborn care related, from sleep conditioning, feeding issues, implementing a really good night routine or daytime schedule. So that's the difference as well, from a postpartum doula, from a newborn care specialist to a night nanny. Night nannies are typically just pretty much there just to give you a little bit of support. They'll take baby from you, feed him. But if you were to have questions on when can I start doing a good daytime schedule, when can we start sleep conditioning or sleep training, that would be more of a newborn care specialist. And so, again, the postpartum doula is there to mother the mother so the mother can take care of the baby.
So, what is a sleep schedule and why is that important?
Having a good sleep schedule, a good routine will help the whole family. You will know baby's wake windows. You will know when you need to feed baby. Baby will pick up on all these little different cues that you do for bedtime and start winding down. Will settle easier. As baby gets a little older, baby will realize that you're turning on the white noise, that you're doing the sleep sack or the swaddle. Oh, what happens after mom does my swaddle? Well, she sits down and she feeds me. Then she holds me for a little. She burps me and then she puts me down. And it's time for me to sleep. When you're consistent on this, on a routine and having a schedule, that's what happens. You end up having a great sleeper because baby picks up on all these little different cues. Not only does baby sleep longer through the night because you're meeting all its needs during the day as well. So most parents will have a daytime schedule and a good night routine and then a good bedtime routine.
And that's also backed by research, that's backed by science, right?
Of course, yes. Everything is backed by research. research and science. That's why parents are always on top of having, a schedule. Most parents will reach out to sleep consultants as soon as baby's born, especially when they don't have, postpartum support. They don't know what they're doing, so they'll reach out to sleep consultants to get their feedback, to get them on the right track, when they can start a schedule, how can they start sleep conditioning, and it just continues, because your baby will grow and the schedule will change. So you might want to have a sleep consultant after a while as well, which you can always reach out to me as well, because I do sleep consulting and sleep training as when baby's at the right age.
So that leads me to that. Can you break down the stages? I mean, you are so you do postpartum doula work, and then newborn care specialist, and then the sleep training. So what are the appropriate ages?
Well, I like to start from day one, really, with the sleep conditioning. That means that I'll be part of your family for a little bit. We all need to be on the same page. Once we do start a good daytime schedule, I'm not going to be there during the day. You guys will. So it will be very helpful for all of us if you guys kind of stick to the schedule. There's going to be days where baby, wants to eat before the schedule. That's totally okay. There's times when baby will be a little fussier and will need extra snuggles. That is totally okay. But for the most part, from day one, we want to really implement really good sleep associations. So we don't want to have the baby being held for the entire time baby's sleeping, because you'll end up holding baby the entire day. You don't want to have props like having baby sleep in a swing. You don't want to be bouncing on that yoga ball for too long. You want to make sure that baby learns that this is the way you will sleep now, on your back. On a flat surface, as before, when baby's in your womb, you're walking around all day, jiggly, jiggly, jiggly. So that kind of soothes baby. So it just takes a little time for baby to get used to sleeping with no movement and on their backs and swaddled. But that's how you start building really good habits. You get fed, you get burped. There are days where baby will need extra snuggles. This is your baby. Hold your baby, love your baby, snuggle him up. Just don't overdo it. Don't start implementing bad sleep associations, because those are little props that or a quick fix that you will have to get rid of later down the road. And it's tougher for parents than babies. Because then what happens when you're trying to remove a bad sleep association is baby will protest. Baby will scream. Baby's not going to be happy. And most parents, we're very sensitive. It's just in our nature that we want to hold our baby, hug our baby, because of the cries. So why not start from day one and really work on having great sleep associations, so you don't have to get to the point where, oh my gosh, we have to remove baby from the swing because that's the only place baby will nap. Or I can't get my baby to nap unless I'm bouncing on the yoga ball for 30 minutes. And then I try to put baby down and it pops right up, So really from day one, we all need to work as a team and start implementing good sleep associations. So that's called sleep conditioning. So I like to start from day one. Why not?
Yeah. So is that kind of like an example of a lot of people are into bassinet first and then moving to crib, whereas you and I talked and I was like, no, let's just do crib.
We could start from day one in crib. It is recommended that baby is with someone in the same room or in the nursery, which I will be, for the night shift. So yes, you can start in the crib from day one, but a lot of parents like the flexibility of having a bassinet. It's just easier because it's right. You can place it right by your bed. If you're nursing and have no support, it's just more convenient to just kind of sit up and take baby out and nurse and put baby back into the bassinet. But when you have, or you're able to have someone to be overnight and help you through this postpartum period, yeah, why not? You can start baby in their crib from day one.
Yeah. So do you ever have like, what are your opinions about like the various types of sleeping with like co-sleep or shared room, all of these like things that are just like whipping around social media?
I always say that this is your baby. It's your decisions. You have my support as long as it's not endangering baby. It's really on your parenting style. A lot of parents like to room share, and that's totally fine. They'll have a bassinet in the room, and baby will be right next to them. Some like to co-sleep. I personally don't like the whole sharing the bed, co-sleeping, but if you make it safe, there's different bassinets that you can put right in the middle, and you put baby in the bassinet. The bassinet is on your bed. You can do that. It just really depends on you. But when we're there overnight, don't you want to use our services?
Yeah. Yes.
It just doesn't make sense that we're there and baby's with you. As a new parent, you won't be able to rest. You're going to be listening to different kinds of noises. Babies are not quiet sleepers. Babies are noisy sleepers. They'll grunt. They'll just make all these different kinds of noises. And you're going to have one eye open and one eye closed. You're not going to fully get a nice rest. So if you have a postpartum doula or a newborn care specialist, why not have baby with us in the same bedroom? We're there so you can get as much rest as possible.
Yeah, and that is a real serious thing, like sleep deprivation, correct?
Oh, of course. Especially here, a lot of women or, parents, new parents, have to go back to work almost right away. They don't really take the time to rest. And as a new mom, you want to do that. You want to be able to have this time to bond with your baby, to rest. Again, emphasizing and resting. And just get to know your baby. There's other cultures, like in our culture, we take what is called the cuarentena, which is about 30 to 40 days, just to rest up, bond with baby, just have nice, yummy food. It's okay to just rest. It's hard in that society that we're living in because we're always on the go, go, go. We want to jump right back up after having a baby and get back to work and get back to our household things and maybe get back to working out right away because that's what your life was before baby. But you kind of have to slow down because your life is not what it was before baby. And if you can, take some time off to relax, to enjoy your baby, to rest, to give that your body that resting period. Again, there's like Chinese do the same thing. They'll take about 40 days to rest. Koreans do the same thing. Japanese women will kind of move back home with their parents for a long period so they can have some rest during the postpartum period.
And again, like these are countries that do that because it's not any kind of sign of weakness or coddling. It is for the advancement and health of both mom and baby.
Exactly. I think there's just like this superwoman complex where we feel like we fought to be at the table and then we're like super harsh. We're harsh critics on ourselves, again, because we're trying to just make everything work, clean the house, make perfect dinners, and we don't give the postpartum period enough importance. as we should, as other countries do. Other countries really do take this sacred window, and they rest, they recover, they bond with their baby, and take care of themselves. And most of them will have a nice support system throughout the day and night.
And it's important because I think we don't even talk about this enough, but there is such a thing as postpartum depression, and it is also scientific because when you are pregnant, like the reason why you're able to create this life is because there is a huge continuous surge of hormones that are helping women create the life. And then upon delivery, those hormones subside and they're replaced by other hormones. So, it's important. And I think, Sandra, if you could talk about this, is like having that support really helps women either mitigate those symptoms or overcome them.
Exactly. Why? Because having that support overnight will give you the chance to rest and get that much needed rest. Because if you're trying to do everything on your own, doing daytime, you're going to be busy with your baby just during the day. You're going to be feeding baby every 2 to 3 hours. You're barely going to have time for yourself. And then if you were to do that the entire night, and then after 3 to 4 days of sleep deprivation, you are going to be super tired. You're going to have brain fog. You're going to be moody. On top of everything else that your body's going through after having a baby, your hormones all over the place. And now adding to the fact that you're not resting, that's only going to just give you anxiety. So really resting up is very beneficial for the new mother. That will help with, anxiety and depression, because depression and anxiety are a real thing, and sometimes yourself won't even see that you're going through this, but having the third set of eyes are like, okay, Mel, we need to relax a little bit. How about we, what's going on? How are you feeling today? Did you go out for a walk? Just go out for a walk. I'm here. Baby's going to be just fine. Go out for a walk. Just the postpartum doula does so much for the new parents that it really, having the third set of eyes helps in spotting, anxiety or depression.
Yeah. So why do you think it's relatively new? I mean, you've been doing this for like 15 years, but like still, not many people know about like people like you.
No, I think it's just coming to be more known now, like you mentioned, through social media, through these famous, the actors are bringing it up more. We've been kind of on the down low, out of the radar. We're kind of like your secret. Nobody knows that you had this help. You did it all on your own. Because a lot of clients don't want us to say that they don't want people to know that they have the support. Some are okay, but some of them want to feel empowered. Like, I did it all. I can do it. If I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, no.
So I think through social media now, everything's it's being more aware now. It's coming up more, and people are finding out more about what we're doing. Even Medi-Cal is starting to see the importance of having postpartum support. That they're trying to get more families covered for postpartum support.
Yeah, I thought that was a huge step. Like, I think also in light of that, big companies are also fronting fertility care as part of
Yes.
benefits. And now we're hearing, like you told me that, you're like, oh, Medi-Cal is like putting some money behind postpartum care.
Yeah, and that is huge, because a lot of people can't afford our services. In
Yeah.
fact, some people, as soon as, they find out they're pregnant, they start saving and putting money aside so they can have, postpartum care. And now that Medi-Cal or Cal-Optima is starting to see how important it is, especially for mothers that do suffer from depression and have, anxiety after giving birth. It's huge. We've been doing this for so long, and we were never even looked at. Now it's like, oh, well, it is so beneficial to have a birth doula and then to have a postpartum doula.
Yeah.
The birth doula is going to be there and guiding you, and she's going to be your advocate, and us, once she transitions you to me, I'm going to be there for the postpartum care. What more could you ask for? We're mothering the mother. We're there for her. In any questions, some families don't have family members around, and so having someone there to guide them without judging and helping them and teaching them and providing, evidence, what a game changer.
I absolutely agree. I mean, that's why early on was like, I need a birth doula. I need a postpartum newborn care specialist. I need that because I don't know. And also, I think social media can sometimes be a trap for first time moms because I didn't want to be in a position where I would just be so overwhelmed by all of the differing opinions that come through social media. It's just it just makes things even more anxious and more challenging than it needs to be when your focus should be on having a healthy pregnancy and then having a good delivery and then healing. So I think that's what's really beneficial about having that support team behind you.
Exactly. Social media can be great, but it can be so overwhelming. And for new parents, even for veteran parents, it's just too much information out there. So don't go down the rabbit hole. That's what I always tell my new moms. Do not go and Google everything. Do not go on this. Do not, just too much. There's just way too much. Why don't you ask me first? And if we don't have an answer for this, I'll reach out to certain pediatricians that I know, but we'll get it. Do not go on Google and try to diagnose everything, because you'll end up having more anxiety than when you started.
Yeah, exactly. And so, with that, how does anybody go find you to get your services?
Well, I do have my webpage. It's OC Newborn Quality Care. And I don't have social media much, but you can find me through my webpage, and now through you. I'm sure a lot of people are going to view this and,
yes,
maybe are interested in having a newborn care specialist or a postpartum doula overnight. Most of us do overnight. Some of us do daytime as well.
Yeah. So, for all of you guys listening out there, I think that this completes my support team. And what I love is that Karen, who was on before Sandra, she's my birth doula, and she's talking with Sandra because, as Sandra was saying, there's this teamwork, and there's no shame in that because, you don't know what you don't know. And it's better to put your faith and your trust in the people with the skill set. And here, I definitely will have all the things to share because we're getting pretty close. And Sandra is the last piece of it. So, hit her up, hit me up. And, don't do this alone. You don't have to. And there's no shame in having this solid support team.
That is well said, Mel. There is no shame. There is no shame in asking for help. It is hard to ask for help and it's hard to receive it, but it's okay. You need to ask for help. You can't do it all on your own alone. This postpartum period is a precious, sacred time, and as a new parent, you deserve to be taken care of, and you deserve to rest. Again, here I go with the resting. Because we're so on the go, 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 and we want to do it all. And our society has it set to that we have to get up and go right after birth, and there really is no need for that. You deserve the time to rest and recover. Of course, there are special circumstances where if you're the sole provider for your family and there's just no time to rest, I completely understand. But if you can buy yourself some time to rest, do it. You won't regret it.
Yeah. And I think this is very, it struck me. It made me a little sad where you said like a lot of women don't want to be vocal about you, but I think it's empowering to say that you have these women who support you and who have the skill set. And so I think that we've got it really twisted, even being so modern now, where like it's looked upon as being selfish or maybe less of a mom because you ask for help. And I think that that's awful. I'm going to be asking and asking and asking because what do I know? And of course, like it is, if you take care of yourself, you can only enhance or become better in the way that you mother.
Exactly. Again, well said. If you are well rested, you're going to be an amazing mom, and your baby will pick up on that. Your baby can feel your heartbeat. If you're stressed, if you're anxious, you will pass that energy over to your newborn, and you don't want to do that. You want to be your best. You want to be rested, and again, it doesn't necessarily mean that every woman should take 6 weeks off work, because sometimes that's just impossible, but do give yourself a little bit of time after work to rest and just come home and bond with baby. Don't try to be on the go, go, go. And I got to get this done. And I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to work out. Everything is kind of going to come to a halt for a little bit. And then you can slowly get back into your regular lives that you had before. But do give yourself, before you head out there and start working out hardcore, at least 6 weeks to fully recover.
Yeah.
Before you can start on your, whatever routines you had before baby.
Well, thank you so much, Sandra, for joining us. And I think that this is so helpful for everybody out there to know you exist, you're there, and how to get a hold of you.
Awesome. Great, Mel. It was great to be here. I hope I was able to answer, some questions and help other mothers who are, potential parents that, with some questions on what a postpartum doula does and what a newborn care specialist is and what a night nannies is as well.
Yes, awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, you have a great day.
And that wraps up the Lawyer Lifter podcast, aka Mel's Minutes. Catch this episode on Apple or Spotify. See you next time.